What is happening, ladder climbers? It is Antoine Way from Elevate to the Unknown YouTube channel and blkhikes.com. And it is Wednesday morning at 7 a.m. and it is time. It is time for the daily climb, guys. So welcome to the show where we discuss real money, real career moves, Monday through Friday. And if you guys are new here, when you tune in, make sure that you hit the like button and drop your city in the chat. I want to know where you guys are tuning in from. Yesterday, we had some good peoples tuning in from. My man Blackman was tuning in from Hawaii. We had North Carolina in the house yesterday. We had Austin. We had Oklahoma in the house yesterday. So I want to see where you guys are tuning in from. What's up, MLC? Good to see you, man. Where you tuning in from? Good morning, everyone, he says. Let us know where you're tuning in from. I want to know where you guys are tuning in. NC Workers in the house. We know she's tuning in from the beautiful state of North Carolina. Let me tell you about North Carolina. North Carolina actually shows up. When we were in Mexico, North Carolina was that state that actually showed up when they were talking about the people at the resort. North Carolina was very, very proud of the people that were from North Carolina, and they were hooting and hollering and having a good time. And it was a fantastic time. But guys, we got a good show for you. Before we break into the show and get started, let me give you guys a quick update on the morning. Woke up again at 3:30 this morning. Hit the gym. Wednesdays are my light days. Wednesdays used to be the days that I took off when I lifted 4 times a week. But now, with me wanting to keep the same routine Monday through Friday, I go to the gym and I did a bit of cardio, did a bit of arms, was out of the gym in 30 minutes. So it's somewhat of a rest day, but the rest was light movement, that is. I got home, took a quick shower, dove into the business news, and I found some good stuff that's going to shock you guys this morning. We got 114 companies that filed official notices to fire people in August. That is 20% more than July. We got Cisco, who's about to tell us if the tech hiring is coming back or if more layoffs are on the way. And we got CEOs getting fired left and right while the stock market keeps going up. The stock market, guys, is booming. Hopefully you guys are invested. Ant Dog says he's coming to us from Southwest Houston. Danny's coming to us from Charlotte, North Carolina. MLC, the state of North Carolina always shows up, man. I'm telling you, North Carolina is always in the house. And it is a beautiful state. It's one of those states that's just has some all-around beauty to it. Charlotte is booming right now, and Raleigh is booming right now. Durham is booming right now. You have North Carolina just being that state that's on and up and up. But guys, my coffee is strong this morning because I need it. It's my kid's first day of school, and it is going to be a long day because my son has his first baseball practice today as well, too. And not only that, we are about to cover some serious overnight corporate moves that are happening right now and affecting jobs all across America. Let me get a nice little sip of that while you guys are still tuning in. And do me a favor, hit the like button because we're about to break down the earnings reports, executive firings, and industry moves that determine who gets hired and who gets fired this week. So, ladder climbers, Tuesday night and Wednesday morning proved to be that corporate America is hiring and firing. We already know that. But let me break down what happened overnight. So, we had Cisco. You guys heard of Cisco, the networking company that connects the internet. It is reporting earnings this morning, and it will tell us if tech jobs are coming back to Cisco, if they're going to be hiring, or if they're going to be firing. We got 3 more CEOs who got fired overnight, including the CEO of PetMed, the PetMed Express company, and he's getting a $550,000 severance package while some of us who get fired, we get nothing, right? Also, you got 806,000 Americans. They've been laid off. And that is 75% more than last year. It's a lot of people, guys. And companies that are beating earnings, beating the expectations on Wall Street, they're hiring AI engineers for $800,000 a year while firing the office workers. So let's jump into the Wednesday's business intelligence. We're going to get started right there with the Wednesday's business intelligence. Let me go ahead and get my lower thirds going on here as well too. But guys, today we're going to be covering the earnings that decide who gets fired and hired, the CEO firings in every industry that I was able to research. We're going to talk about the industry battles for talent and exactly which companies you should target, jobs, and which ones you should avoid, because that's going to be the most important part on this show today, is the companies that you guys should be targeting, especially if you are unemployed or if you're looking to make a career move, and the ones that you should avoid in the event that you are looking for a job. You don't want to go to a company and all of a sudden you'd be like the lady that I showed you guys on yesterday who accepted the job, and all of a sudden they said, we no longer have room for you. You don't want to be that person, okay? This is how you avoid that, by digesting this kind of news. But let me break down the corporate moves that happen overnight, guys, because executive changes, they affect real jobs and real paychecks. So PetMed Express. You guys heard of PetMed Express, but some of you guys got your little doggies and all that other stuff that you love. People who have pets, they love PetMed Express. But the CEO got fired overnight. They just fired Sandra Campos and their CFO, Robin Dela. But here's the thing that makes this whole thing crazy. The CEO is getting a $550,000 severance, and the CFO is getting a $425,000 severance. Meanwhile, regular workers at companies, the ones that you and I work for, we get laid off with 2 weeks' pay if you're lucky. That's the game. CEOs get fired and walk away with a whole bunch of money that they don't have to work for the rest of the year. And middle management, lower managers, individual contributors, you walk away with a little bit of nothing. Maybe you will get a severance, but it ain't going to be able to last you a very long time. This is big money that these CEOs are getting. This is big money that the CFO is getting. And they walk away with more money than most people make in 10 years. Regular workers get fired and have to figure out how to pay rent next month. That's what's happening. You got VIQ Solutions, the technology company that does digital recording. Their CEO, Sebastian Pear, he quit immediately. They brought in Larry Taylor as the new CEO, and company is going through a restructuring, and they're restructuring their board as well too. You got X4 Pharmaceuticals, a drug company. They just raised $60 million. They completely changed their executive team and board members. They said, get out, you're fired. We don't want you guys anymore. We need new people here. You got Governor Bancorp, the bank. They appointed a new president and CEO yesterday. These are the changes that has happened in the corporate world. And when this many executives changes happen overnight, it's not random, guys. These are investors and boards saying, we don't have the right people running these companies. When you hear about this kind of changes, these moves that's happening overnight, you got boards and you got investors that's saying, we don't have the right people that's running these companies. That's the reality of it. And why are so many CEOs getting fired, you may be asking? Because there's a lot of them. Well, all the changes. Well, here's the real data. Activist investors won 51 board seats in the first quarter of 2025. So that is a 34% increase from last year. And what we mean by activist investors, investors who have the capital to be able to place members on companies' boards to figure out if the company is going to be running the right way. Or if they're going to invest in it, they're going to take a good portion of the seats and they're going to be able to vote for who is the board member or not. But these investors They are forcing out CEOs who don't make enough money, and if he doesn't make enough money fast, so or if she doesn't make enough money fast, because there are women CEOs, especially at Pet Express. She got laid off. The CFO was a woman. She got laid off as well. So the goal is, or what this ultimately means is this, is if you can't deliver results in 6 to 12 months, you're gone. That's what investors are doing. So they're treating CEOs just like we get treated inside the sales organization. A lot of times, you know, we have this thought in our head that only we are impacted. And what I mean by we say you may look at yourself as an individual contributor. You may look at yourself as middle management. You may look at yourself as senior management. And you have your blinders on a lot of the times on who all gets impacted. Well, everybody gets impacted. Impacted in different ways. But you think about it like a sports franchise. You bring in a new GM, he's probably going to get rid of the head coach. You bring in new owners, probably going to get rid of the entire operation staff. That's what happens. Okay? But you have some other things that's happening as well, too. It's a whole bunch of investigations that's going on. And while CEOs are getting fired, the SEC filed 31 enforcement actions in the second quarter. They're going after executives for fraud, investment violations, and record-keeping failures. And some of these cases have criminal charges, too, meaning executives could be going to jail. And here's what I want you guys to understand. While regular workers are getting laid off in record numbers, executives are either getting fired with huge severance packages or getting arrested for stealing millions. So they're being impacted. Now, I got to say, the system may seem to be unfair because the system is designed to protect executives and sacrifice workers. You and I, gone, paint slit, may get a little bit of severance package. They are protected. You know that CEO, Andy Byron from Astronomer, who, was on the Kiss Cam and so forth, cuddling up with his boo, the HR executive, right? Both of these are executives, right? This happens more often than you really think, okay? Because you're around people more than you are your wife or your husband. But they're going to get opportunities. They're going to get further opportunities, even if they end up stealing millions of dollars from the company. They end up getting opportunities after that, even if they go to jail. It's unfortunate. It's unfortunate, but that's how the system works. If you guys think that the system is rigged, type rig in the chat. Type rig in the chat. I want to understand if you guys think the system is rigged. But this executive chaos, it really creates opportunities for people who understand what's happening. And while others are getting surprised by leadership changes, you're going to know which companies are stable and which ones are about to blow up. You don't want to go to the companies that are about to blow up. You want to go to the companies that are stable. Now, I want to break down the earnings. So let's talk about the earnings. Earnings happened yesterday and they're happening right now. The numbers literally decide which companies are going to be hiring and which companies are going to fire people. That's the thing. It's a numbers game. You either making enough money to support your people. If you are, then you can grow and continue to make money and you can hire and so forth. Or you're not making enough money and you can't support the number of people that you have. Or you cut. And that's when you ultimately have to fire people. So Wednesday morning's earnings, this is what we're going to be talking about now. Okay. Who made money? Who's going to be getting fired? Who's going to be getting cut? Who's going to be getting hired? Well, let's talk about Cisco. Cisco, the networking company, okay? They're reporting earnings this morning, and it's going to tell us if tech jobs are coming back or if more layoffs are on the way. They're expected to make 98 cents per share on 14.6 billion in revenue. So if they beat those numbers, they'll probably be hiring. If they miss those numbers, get ready for more tech layoffs. You're going to hear about Cisco in the news. You're going to hear about Cisco from individuals doing TikTok videos and about how they got fired and how they were there for a very long time. That's what you're going to hear. Okay, that's what's going on with Cisco right now. You got Generation Bio. You got Intapp. You got Cognition Therapeutics. All technology and biotech companies, they beat earnings by huge margins on Tuesday night. Their stocks went up over 20%. So these companies, these biotech companies, Intapp, Cognition Therapeutics, Generation Bio, crushed it. They're doing pretty darn good, making all kinds of money. You know they're going to be hiring. Okay, those are the winners. This means that they're going to go on hiring sprees for engineers, researchers, technical people. Here's how this works, man. When companies beat earnings, when they beat expectations, Wall Street gives them money to grow because you guys are investing into their stock. It's just that simple. When companies miss expectations, Wall Street forces them to cut costs. Growth means hiring. Cutting costs means firing. It is just that simple. Okay? Let's look at the layoffs because you know those are coming for a lot of companies. 114 companies, they filed the official warn notices to fire people in August. That's 20% more than July. If you thought the first half of this year was rough, you got August being the worst month on record so far this year with companies filing the WARN Act. 806,000 Americans have already been laid off in 2025. That's 75% more than last year. And the companies that are doing the most firing, Microsoft, Georgia Pacific, Intel, Pixel Specialty. Each one of them are cutting 500 to tens of thousands of jobs. That's a lot of people. That's letting go people, man. That is a ton of people. You got NC Worker said it was absolutely rigged. You got Ant Dog said, I'm gonna always scream this from the mountaintops. Investments, invest your money when you're getting paid. 100%. I agree. Moonlight says completely rigged. Lakshmi says rigged. Wendy says super rigged. Good to see you, Lakshmi. Moonlight says they're desperate because the economy is irreparably broken and companies are bleeding funds. Consumers don't have jobs, no purchases, no sales, no CEO changes going to resolve that. Daniel Lugo's in the house. Good to see you, man. Daniel Lugo just got hired at a great company, fantastic company, Daniel. We're going to have to get you on the show to come on here and tell your story of what you've gone through, my man. Love to have you on the show. Tomorrow, guys, we're going to have our first show with a individual who's a ladder climber who's going to come on and tell their story about what they're doing from a technology standpoint and how they're going about investing. But let me continue on with the show. One of the things that I do with this show is I try to stay on track, right? I'm one of those type of people that I get easily distracted, especially when I have to look at things like the chats. And I love that you guys chat. So keep chatting because I'm going to find some time and I'm going to get over to your chats and I'm going to read them. But I also take the transcripts from these shows and run it through AI and see where I can actually improve. And one of the things that the transcript says, Antoine, man, stop going off on these darn tangents. I'm like, why? I want people to understand who I am and be authentic. It says, you don't need to be authentic, Antoine. You just need to deliver the results. So sometimes you just have to say, screw you, AI, and do it the way that you want to do it. I told AI that this isn't a corporate show where I need to stay on time the entire time. I told AI that I'm going to do it the way that I want to do it. Now, if I start to see a whole bunch of drops in the data, meaning that you guys are like, I'm sick of this guy going on tangents, and I'll start to see the data fall off, then I'll start to listen to AI. But let's get into who's hiring and who's firing, guys. The companies that's hiring: technology companies with strong earnings, logistics companies, advanced manufacturing, and healthcare companies doing mergers. Those are the companies that are hiring right now. The companies that are firing: big tech companies. They're cutting support roles. Traditional manufacturing. You got retail companies who are missing earnings. In any company that disappointed Wall Street, those are the companies that's firing. Okay? The companies that are hiring: technology companies with strong earnings, the Microsofts and so forth, logistics companies, advanced manufacturing and healthcare companies doing mergers. Companies that are firing are the big tech companies that are cutting support roles, traditional manufacturing, retail companies that miss earnings, and any company that disappointed Wall Street. And we're going to talk about this. The impact of AI, because AI has a lot to do with this. And we haven't talked about that being a contributor to many of this, right? To many of the hiring and firing. But companies are using AI to do the work that offers workers used to do. They're hiring AI engineers for $800,000 a year, and they're firing administrative workers making $50,000 a year. Over 100,000 tech workers have been laid off in 2025, but AI engineers are getting $1 million packages. I'm not talking about just $1 million packages. I'm talking about $1.5 billion packages. I'm talking about $800,000 salaries. That's what's happening for AI engineers right now. You have the recruiting of AI engineers heating up so much that they're looking to pay individuals hundreds of thousands of dollars. Just imagine being an AI engineer and you get a package for $200,000 a year. Man, you do that 1 year, you're gone. You're done for the rest of your life. But that's not what these people are doing, though. These people are getting ready to get super rich because they're getting equity as well, too. And that equity is probably going to start making them close to a billionaire. This is the time to be in technology, guys, but this is the time to be in the area where technology is growing fast, or this is the time to be an entrepreneur, because this is the time where it's going to be easier to get to the money. Now, I want you guys to listen very carefully here. If your job can be done by AI, your company is planning to replace you. If you can work with AI to do multiple jobs, your company probably wants to promote you. If you are a specialist that's narrowly focused on doing one thing, and when somebody asks you to do something different, you decide that you want to throw a hissy fit, you will be replaced by AI, by somebody who has a generalist mindset, but has a good understanding of things and also wants to use AI and technology. They will be replacing you because they can do your job. And you have been a thorn in people's side. I'm sorry to tell you that, but it's the reality of it, okay? I'm sorry to tell you that, but it's the reality. Let's jump over to Cisco. Okay? Cisco's earnings this morning, they're getting ready to release earnings pretty soon. It's going to tell us if the networking company and the tech infrastructure company is growing or it's shrinking. If Cisco beats earnings, it means companies are spending money on technology and probably hiring tech workers. If Cisco miss earnings, it means that companies are cutting technology spending and probably firing workers. The business of certain companies reflects the market. So that's why it's very important to look at the earnings. Cisco is a company that provides technology and infrastructure to many of the major companies out there, right? You guys at one point in time had your Cisco IP phones, right? You have Cisco routers. And the more companies that purchase these things, it tells you that companies are hiring. Because if you need a new IP phone, this is the past, right? If you need a new IP phone, that means either somebody's been replaced or they're bringing on new people. If you need new routers, that means you're supporting more people, right? So the business world will give you a good indicator of how business is going for the mass majority of businesses. So if Cisco misses today, then it's going to tell you that technology spending has probably slowed down. And they're also going to fire some of their workers. Okay? I mean, like the earnings game, and it is a game, it determines the employment game. You beat expectations, you get to hire people. You miss expectations, you get to fire people. That is the rule. Let's move on, because now you need to know that industries are at war now. There's a lot of them that is at war, and you need to know which ones are at war, because potentially you will be caught up in some sort of talent war, especially if you are skillful. Let's break down the industry battles that are happening right now, because understanding who's winning tells you where the jobs are going. The technology war. The big tech companies have cut over 100,000 jobs this year, but they're fighting each other for AI talent like it's Call of Duty, blasting each other, some sort of Roblox game, right? They're just constantly fighting each other over the talent. And OpenAI just raised $8.3 billion at a $300 billion valuation. And Meta is offering people multi-million-dollar packages to leave other companies. The battle for AI engineers is insane. It is insane. Let me share with you guys the explosion that's happening. Okay. You got OpenAI, 8.3 billion raised. You got Legion, 38 billion for enterprise AI. You got Mistral going for 1 billion at a $10 billion valuation. All of this money is going towards hiring AI engineers, machine learning experts, and data scientists. When I told you guys some years ago, and PDB and The Life of Cannabis and I were talking about this about 2 years ago. This was a time when the metaverse was big, before AI was really, really big. So maybe it was a little bit longer than 2 years ago. Maybe it was about 4 or 5 years ago. We were discussing the jobs that are going to be very valuable in the future. And that was a time when AI engineers and machine learning scientists and data scientists were getting paid roughly anywhere from $300,000 to $500,000 a year. Many of us made the pitch that this is where many of the members who follow this channel, especially the younger ones who are going to school, should look into educating themselves, look into making a career pivot, look into acquiring additional skills. If you are an AI engineer right now, you are like a professional athlete in free agency. Companies are throwing ridiculous money at you. They're throwing $1 million packages at you. There is a leaked memo that I came across early this morning that I didn't add to the show that talked about Microsoft's plan to poach Meta's AI engineers. And they are doing it with money and equity. And it starts at $1 million. It starts at $1 million. And if you are an office worker doing routine tasks, you are kind of like a horse when cars were invented. Your job is about to be disappearing. Let that sink in for a little bit. Skill up or be out. AWS, they still have 34% of the market, but Microsoft and Google are gaining ground fast. Microsoft, their CEO yesterday said that they've already won. They declared victory. Not sure if that's the truth or not, but that's what he said. He's going out here and boasting about Microsoft claiming victory in the AI world, in the cloud world. We'll see. Only time will tell. But all three companies are hiring cloud engineers, and they're hiring security experts, and they're hiring automation specialists, and they're doing it like crazy. And cloud computing is still growing. So that's another area where you should potentially be looking, especially if you are a technical person. You know, I shared a industry war photo like I'm sharing right now, okay? So tech is not the only industry where there's wars going on. The automotive industry. Traditional car companies are losing to EV companies. Ford is hiring for EV manufacturing while Honda is cutting jobs. Banking. Traditional banks are merging to fight fintech companies. They're hiring compliance and technology people while firing back office workers. You got healthcare. Digital health companies are buying traditional healthcare companies, and they're hiring tech people and firing administrative workers. You got the semiconductor industry as well. That is major. The chip industry. They need 70,000 skilled workers by 2030, but they can't find them. Now, I want you guys to question that. Would you guys go and work for the semiconductor industry? I would. They're saying they can't find the talent, just like they said, cybersecurity professionals. There are abundance of them, or there are abundance of jobs, and they can't find skilled workers for cybersecurity either. But President Trump just announced 100% tariffs on imported chips unless they're made in America. This means that massive hiring for chip manufacturing in the United States is getting ready to pick up. So maybe it's time for you to move. Maybe it's time for you to come down to Texas, and you will see the geographic areas where a lot of this is going on. Because I want you guys to understand that. Maybe it's time for you to think about moving. You got Apple stock that went up 3% just on the news because they're planning to invest $100 billion more in American manufacturing for semiconductors. Apple's CEO, Tim Cook, was in the White House the other day, and he presented Trump with some sort of Apple award that was made in America, and glass was made in America, because the majority of Apple stuff in the past, there was manufactured in China, in India. I recall that Tim Cook and President Trump saying that they're going to invest $600 billion into America. That's a lot of money. And a lot of the area that they're going to be focused on is Kentucky. So you folks who are from Kentucky, let me know how you guys feel about that. Let me know how you guys feel about that. I don't know very much about Kentucky besides the bourbon. But I'm about to tell you like this, man. It's about to be a whole bunch of drinking if you guys continue to get these manufacturing jobs. A whole bunch of drinking. Bourbon industry is not going to be going down. It's going to be going back up just from the number of people that's going to be able to afford it. But companies are spending billions of dollars on social media advertising as well. I want to talk about that. There's a whole bunch of social media money that's out there right now, guys. This means that's massive hiring for social media managers and content creators and digital marketing specialists. So I'm a content creator. I create content. Okay. They're paying people a lot of money for creating content. I've decided to double down on my content creation. This is one of the reasons why I'm coming live to you guys every single morning, not just to bring you the news, not just to keep you informed, not just to educate you, but also understanding that this has an opportunity to grow beyond my belief because advertisers are paying so much money for content. And if you are someone who knows how to edit videos or manage social media accounts or create content, or you have skills in digital marketing, starting salaries start from $36,000 to $55,000. But experienced people make 6 figures or more. They make a lot of money. I can tell you right now, for the content creators I know, they spend a lot of money on training people. They spend a lot of money on editing. And if you can do it better, cheaper, you're going to make some good money. And you can do it as a side hustle as well, too. Right? You think about me. I'm creating content. I do it as a side hustle. You can do the same thing. But this is a big area. Social media, boy, they are paying people a whole bunch of money because advertisers are paying a bunch of money for it. What do you think? Meta has exploded their revenue. Google continues to explode. YouTube continues to explode. TikTok, they got advertisers coming back up until their AI decided they want to throw some anti-Semitic stuff out there. And their CEO got fired during that time. But that's what happens. Social media is crushing it right now. And I'll give you guys a quick understanding about these industries. Your industry is either growing, your industry is either dying. Growing industries hire people. Dying industries, they fire people. So make sure when you are thinking about the industries that you are getting in, understand if it is growing or understand if it is if it is dying. I said, understand if it's firing. But it's true. You want to understand if it's firing people, but you really want to understand if it's dying or not. Now, which companies should you guys target for your next job? Which companies? Well, that's what we're going to be talking about now, because you want to know which companies you want to target and which companies you want to avoid. Here are the specific companies and industries that you should target for jobs and which ones you should avoid. Okay? I don't want you guys to make any mistakes and say, nobody told me. Nobody comes online and tells me this stuff, when you really can just do your research. You can use ChatGPT and find that out. You can ask it a prompt. Which companies or which industries are hiring, which industries are firing, and so forth. But Cisco, if they beat earnings this morning, they're probably going to be hiring networking and AI specialists. Apple, they're investing $100 billion more in American manufacturing, so they'll need engineers, supply chain people, and manufacturing specialists. You got Performance Food Group, the logistics company that just beat earnings. They're probably hiring for supply chain and distribution jobs. Okay, these are the companies to target. Apple is one of them. Cisco, we'll figure that one out later on this morning. Other companies that are hiring, AI and cloud companies. OpenAI just raised $8.3 billion. They're definitely hiring AI engineers and AI researchers. Legion, they raised $38 million hiring for enterprise AI roles. Microsoft, Google, Amazon, they are all fighting for cloud and AI talent. And Meta has the best hiring and retention rates in big tech right now. People want to work for Meta. And I'm going to tell you like this, the people who are working for them, they seem to be doing pretty darn good. I got a buddy who works there, and I haven't talked to him in a while, but I get a chance to see his Instagram photos. And him and his family seem to be doing pretty darn good. They seem to be doing pretty darn good. So consider companies like Meta if you want to go to a big company. But here are some industries that you should consider to target. In the technology space, AI, cloud computing, cybersecurity, and automation roles. In the healthcare industry, digital health, telemedicine, and healthcare technology roles. Logistics, check out supply chain roles, distribution, e-commerce, advanced manufacturing, automation roles, robotics roles, and high-tech manufacturing roles. In the energy sector, renewable energy, project management, and sustainability roles. These are the industries to specifically target for your next career move if this is what you're looking to do. Now, companies that you want to avoid, you got quite a bit of those. Basically, any company that missed earnings recently. They're probably cutting costs and they're probably going to be firing people. I would even say traditional retail companies, unless they're investing heavily into e-commerce. And legacy manufacturing companies, unless they're investing into automation and robots. So I like logistics and supply chain because I've been in that industry for about 19 years. And supply chain and logistics seems to, I wouldn't say logistics necessarily, especially around trucking. Because trucking has hit a massive, they still haven't recovered from their freight recession. But supply chain in general, it's a safe bet. Because supply chain is in everything, especially in everything that is made here in the United States and is distributed, exported to other countries. And companies need that. The United States is looking to export more. So that's all supply chain. And this is the reason why when I do videos on this channel, a lot of the times, especially for education and degree videos, I talk about the supply chain and why students should get an education in supply chain, because it is a brilliant degree program. And you can make a good amount of money and you can work remote, have flexibility, learn, help people, make sure products are on a shelf and make sure it's delivered the right way. It's all the good stuff. And I've been doing it for 19 years. So supply chain is one that you should definitely consider. Logistics, if it's trucking, it'll pick back up in 2026. So just hold off, be careful with logistics, okay? But any company with a new CEO as well, you want to potentially avoid, because new leadership usually means layoffs and restructuring. Now, I'm not saying a new leadership team from inside promotion and, previous CEO retired. Those are the companies that you actually want to stay with. New leadership means good things, but you also understand too, with new leadership inside companies, there are probably going to be some layoffs and some changes, because the old CEO and the new CEO are two different people. Just be careful about that. Okay. Now, the skills that you need to be paying attention to and talking to your nieces and nephews about if they're thinking about going to high school or college and so forth. The skills that's going to get you hired today, they're kind of no different than what we were talking about 2 years ago. AI, machine learning. Companies are paying ridiculous money for this knowledge and for these skills. You got cloud computing, AWS, Azure, Google cloud expertise, paying enormous amounts of money for this skill. Data analyses. Everyone needs people who can understand data. Cybersecurity. Companies are consistently getting hacked every single day, and they need protection. Automation and robotics. Companies want to replace workers with machines. Digital marketing, social media and online advertising. It is huge right now. So these are the skills that you want to focus on. And here's the truth. If you have AI skills, the truth is that if you have AI skills, cloud skills, or cybersecurity skills, you can basically name your price right now. These are the people who are getting to the bag, y'all. These are the people who are crushing it. These are the people who are not worrying about a recession. These are the people that's not talking about layoffs, not doing anything. They got their head down. They're making money. They're still going on trips. They still taking flights. They're going across the country. They're buying cars. They're buying houses. They're doing all that sort of stuff. These are the people that's getting to the money right now. The people that have the skills. The question is, do you want to be one of them? Or do you want to be like the normal people, regular people, and stay broke? If you do routine office work that AI can do, you need to learn new skills fast or you are going to get replaced. It's simple. Here are the areas that where the jobs are going, because you want to know where the jobs are going. Texas, home of the beautiful Texas. That's where I am right now, Texas. Come join me down here in Texas. But just don't come to my city. I don't want you here. No, Texas, we welcome people. We just don't want your policies here. Okay? Because what we have going on down here, we like it. And the people who comes down here end up liking it as well. So when you come to Texas, don't bring your policies down here. Don't bring your trash. Don't bring your unfair rules. We like it like we have it here in Texas. Don't go try to change us to be like California or Wisconsin or Minnesota. We don't want to be like you guys. This is why we are Texas. So where are the jobs going? Texas. Energy jobs are coming to Texas. Technology jobs are coming to Texas. Manufacturing jobs are coming to Texas. There are some jobs that are coming to California as well. AI, tech, entertainment, technology jobs. They're in California. California is beautiful. I got to say, it's a beautiful state, but man, we're not going to get into that. You got the Northeast, financial technology and healthcare technology jobs, especially in that state of North Carolina that we were talking about earlier. Beautiful state. Then we have the Southeast, manufacturing logistics jobs. If you guys are targeting moves right now, where are you thinking about moving? Let me know in the chats. Where are you guys thinking about moving? Where would you want to move to have a fantastic life, fantastic job, nice weather? Texas? Let me know. Tyree says, is MIS still worth it? Yes, MIS is still worth it. You can Google that. You can do a chat GPT on that one. MIS is still worth it. Why? Because it bridges business and technology. That's not going to change, Tyrese. It's not going to change. When you can bridge the gap between technology and business, you are valuable. And you can choose any path. And not only that, guess what it does, Tyrese? It almost makes you a generalist. And that's what is in high demand right now. It's going to be high demand in the future because we have AI tools. Make sense, Tyrese? NC Worker says, this is why some executives go to nonprofit organization and it seems harder to let go of them due to being on a board from being an owner. That's true. That's true. Moonlight says, you're doing great. Moonlight says, wish I could be an AI engineer. Moonlight says, issue is training needed to be a new AI engineer is too long and meet the demand. I was looking into data science 2 years ago. Yeah, you know, Moonlight, it does take time, but I'm going to tell you like this, man. There's no better time to start than now because it's going to adapt. But if you start now, just think about what life is going to look like in 2 to 3 years. And then you take the step. You have no idea the opportunities that's going to open up. Start now. NC Realtor says, good morning. It's my birthday. Happy birthday, NC Realtor. Wonderful, wonderful day for us, guys. It's NC Realtor's birthday, guys. Say happy birthday to her. She's been watching us for a very, very long time. Shout out to NC Realtor. We wish you a happy birthday. We wish you a blessed day today. Go and enjoy yourself a nice meal. Enjoy yourself a glass of wine if you drink. Enjoy yourself maybe a day off too. Happy birthday, either way. Daniel Lugo says happy birthday to NC Realtor as well. Ant Dog says, I heard they are aiming to turn my home state of Ohio into a data center hub, essentially. Boy, oh boy. I'm telling you right now, data centers are going up like they are building houses. It's happening. Bob says, Texas sounds great. Bob says, does email or web developer still worthy? Does UX and UI worthy? Yes, I think so, man. It definitely is. I think so. I mean, like, you think about web development. And here's the thing, Bob. Okay. UX, UI design, definitely. Web development, you just have to have a broader understanding of front end and back end. Don't just focus on the front end. Now you got to start somewhere. The front end is being replaced by a lot of tools like we just talked about on yesterday, that the company that just did an IPO, Figma, right? I mean, they're able to build websites in no time, and that's the job of a front end developer typically, right? Just to, build that out. So if you understand the front end and the back end and data and engineering and the pipes and the plumbing and all that other stuff, you are in a good position. If you're just focusing on one specific type of a role, like front end, no. But you got to start either way, and it's not too late. Okay. Let's talk about this. Let's talk about tomorrow's previews and what I'm going to bring to you guys tomorrow. Tomorrow, I'm going to bring in a wonderful guest that you guys are going to be very, very proud of. And he's going to come on. He's going to tell his story about his journey. And he's also going to educate us on how he's investing. Because when you get to this money, let's just say you become an AI engineer, you start making hundreds of thousands of dollars. What are you going to do with it? Right? Do you want to go and buy some real estate? Do you want to start your own business? Do you want to invest into your hobbies? He's going to explain to us how he's going about doing it. And for many of you, you're going to get some inspiration from him because of the fact that many people think that it takes too long to do something. This individual that I'm going to be bringing on is going to explain that how you got to be maniacally focused to get things done, and how you have to be willing to change and willing to just do it. And that's what I'm going to be excited about tomorrow's show with, guys. But let me give you exactly what to watch for tomorrow and specific actions that you need to take based on today's information that I share with you. I like to call it the intelligence, right? So there's some big events that's going to be happening tomorrow. John Deere, the tractor company, they are reporting earnings. If they beat, it means that farming and agriculture equipment is doing well. So that is what you should be looking out for on tomorrow's big events. John Deere company, you guys have heard of them. Well, they call them Deere now, but massive company. And this lets you know if we are picking up on the farming and agriculture. So if they beat, that means business is doing pretty well. If they don't beat, that means business isn't doing well. But you also have Applied Materials. This is a big semiconductor equipment company. So Applied Materials, you know how semiconductors are made? They make the equipment that makes semiconductors. Okay. So they are going to be reporting earnings, and this will tell us if the chip industry is really growing. You get Apple. They might announce more details about their 100 billion American manufacturing investment. So those are the big events that's going to be happening tomorrow that you want to pay attention to in the news. You have economic data that's going to be released tomorrow. You're going to get the job openings report that's going to come out at 8:30 on Thursday, I believe. I think it's 8:30 a.m. And this is going to tell us how many jobs are actually available in America, if job openings are growing, if companies are hiring, if job openings are shrinking, or if companies are cutting back. So this is the things that you want to be paying attention to today and tomorrow. Watch the Cisco results. Cisco's going to be reporting at 4:30 tomorrow Eastern time. So no, that's going to be today, 4:30 p.m. today Eastern. And you want to watch if they beat earnings and raise guidance. That means tech hiring is probably coming back. If they miss earnings or lower guidance, more tech layoffs are probably coming. And if they talk about AI investments, they're probably hiring AI specialists. So that's what you want to pay attention to today for Cisco. And your action plan for this week. I want to give you guys actions because you have to have something, what you need to start learning, right? Let's do this. I'll put it on me. You know, when I have my notes in front of me, I need to make sure that it is lined up with my talking points. You know, I researched all this information ahead of time, but a lot of the times I have to go through it multiple times in order for me to be able to communicate it effectively. But I'm getting better at it. And eventually I won't need notes. But your action plan for this week is this, guys. Step one, check if your company beat or missed earnings recently. If they miss, go ahead and update your LinkedIn immediately. Okay. Just update it. You never know. What's the worst? You probably need to update anyway. You probably haven't updated in years. It's always good to have your LinkedIn updated. So this is an action plan for you to get outside of your comfort zone and do something that you haven't done in a long time. Step two is to look at job postings at companies that beat earnings this week, and you'll probably see that they're hiring. Step three is to start using AI tools, even if your job doesn't require them, and start learning AI tools, even if your job doesn't require them. Every job will require AI skills soon. I think about these images that I was able to put on the screen today. Okay. Very similar to like a PowerPoint, right? Did you know that AI generated all those images? There were 29 different images that I shared today. And I'm not going to do that every single live stream because it takes a lot of time, right? Workflows and all that other stuff, I need to get better at that. But AI, just understanding how to do that, is very, very helpful. So start learning AI tools. If I can do it, you can do it. Okay. I'm a B+ student. Some of you guys are A students. Some of you guys are C+ students. And some of you guys are making a whole bunch of more, a bunch more money than I am. And you're doing a lot better than I am. And you can communicate more effectively. But if I can learn AI, you can too. So just start learning a tool, start testing it, and figuring it out. And if you are scared of where to start, look in the description of this video. You're going to see a link to Coursera and check out some of the AI courses on Coursera. Coursera is a great place where you can get some skilled learning, some skilled training for a reduced cost, right? Won't cost you no more than a couple bucks, right? Or some of it is actually free. So check out Coursera. Step 4 is to make sure that you're networking with people, guys. Network with people at the companies that are winning, right? some of these companies that are crushing it right now that we talked about, some of the winners today. Network with them. The technology, the healthcare, the logistics companies, the manufacturing companies. Go ahead and send them a LinkedIn, send them a connect, especially if you're looking for a role at that company. Start learning ChatGPT and AI prompt engineering. Guys, I will show you something that you may not care to know, but I'm going to share it with you anyway, because I don't mind sharing how I go about doing things. Do you see all of these prompts right here? You can use prompts to create prompts, right? Like this is a prompt right here where I can just go here and go to, this is my Google Drive. I can go to Google Gemini, right? And I can literally paste this prompt here. And this is what it's going to do. It's going to design me a graphic of a show or a graphic that I can actually present on this show. And this is how you can use AI today. So use ChatGPT, use AI prompting tools and do that today, because every job will need this. Look at that. The technology war, 1,000 job cuts, AI talent war, right? I can download this, right? Now I'm gonna download it. I'm gonna jump over to my software, right? I'm gonna import it. It's pretty cool how you can do this sort of stuff just by using AI. Now I can share it with you guys on the screen. Look at that. Just that simple. Just that simple. Okay? Like you can use AI, and I gotta say, right? I mean, like this is an AI generated picture, but I'm just giving you guys an example of how you can go about using AI tools to help your workflow. Okay? It is important. It is something that will help you to grow and learn and get outside of your comfort zone. So check it out. Check it out. Let me see if I can do this as well. So my chats are being extra interesting right now. So let's do this. I don't know if I have this pop up on the screen. Nope. I don't want to close that, but let's do this. Put my chat window up here. Test my technology. Boom. Yay! It's happy birthday for NC Worker. There we go. NC Realtor said happy birthday. You got Holly in the house, says her birthday is Saturday. Happy early birthday, Holly. We got Ant Dog, who's in the house, who says going on 2 years living here in Texas, and I absolutely love life, the lifestyle here, the opportunities. It's so much money to be made down here in Texas. Texas is fantastic. We got Bob, who's in the house. He says, does email or web developer still worth it? You would think we already answered that. Holly says, the NC Realtor, I did appraisals until 4 years ago, still holding my real estate license. I went and got my all my DIG and SM certs. Nice. The Life of Cam is in the house. He says, good day, Mr. Wade. I look forward to being a guest tomorrow. We are looking forward to you being a guest tomorrow as well. I will contact you today, Kamal, to make sure we get everything all scheduled and everything all set up, but looking forward to you being on the show tomorrow as well. But guys, that's how you use AI. It's just that simple. You can use it for little things. And I just showed you an example of how to go about doing such a thing, okay? But guys, start using AI. Start playing with data analysis tools like Excel, Google Sheets, simple analytics tools, cloud computing basics, social media marketing, project management. These are all the areas that are going to continuously get jobs and they're going to be hiring in. Target companies that just beat earnings. They have money to hire people. Avoid the companies that missed earnings. They're probably going to be cutting costs. Focus on growing industries, AI, cloud computing, healthcare, technology. supply chain, logistics. Avoid dying industries such as retail, traditional retail, legacy manufacturing, and office work that is routine. Don't do it. The companies that are hiring are easy to find if you know where to look. Okay? While other people are surprised by layoffs and economic changes, you guys are going to be ahead of the game because you understand what's really happening. That's why we bring this show to you guys. Today, we covered a lot. We covered the business intelligence that's reshaping who gets hired and who gets fired. We covered a good many of the 114 companies that filed notices to fire people in August. We covered CEOs getting fired with huge severance packages while workers getting nothing. We also covered the 806,000 Americans who were laid off this year, 75% more than last year. It's a lot of people. But here is what separates the winners from the losers in this economy. The winners understand that earnings determine hiring. They target companies that beat expectations and avoid companies that miss. The winners understand that AI is changing everything, and they learn AI skills instead of hoping that their old skills will stay relevant. The winners understand which industries are growing and which are dying, and they position themselves in technology, healthcare, supply chain logistics, and advanced manufacturing. This is why we do the Daily Climb, and we do it every Wednesday morning. And it's not to scare you guys, but to give you the business intelligence to win when companies are changing everything. And it's changing so fast. It's changing fast. I was like, I can't keep up with this stuff, so I need to make sure that when I can keep up with it, I can share it with you all. And knowledge is power, guys. And I think business intelligence is a competitive advantage. We know what's going on. You know how people tell you right now, your parents would be like, go get a degree. Don't just go to college. Just go to college. They don't have the business intelligence. They don't watch your show. Maybe you shouldn't encourage them to watch the show. Just go to college. Go get a degree. What should I get my degree in, Mom? Art history. To go and get the degree in art history. You know, art history, the median salary for art history major, $24,000 a year. Mom didn't know because she didn't have the business intelligence. You didn't know because you didn't have the business intelligence. Strategic positioning is your career insurance. Business intelligence is your career insurance. Make sure you hit like on the video. Make sure you need to share this with your friends and your family because we are growing. If you hit like, it's going to help us with the algorithm. But this is what winners do. And winners also make sure they hit the like button on this video. And winners also subscribe and ring the notification bell because we do this type of live streams Monday through Friday. And I appreciate each and every one of you guys. Guys, join the Heights Patreon for complete business intelligence. We have playbooks. We have networking events. We have people who can give you guys a game. We have the Life of Kamal, who's going to be on the show tomorrow. He's in our Patreon. You have access to me. You have a whole abundance of jobs, offers, and job opportunities. Check out the Patreon link in the description of this video. But make sure that you share this with someone who needs to understand how earnings and executive changes affect their job security. If you guys have any comments, leave it in the comment section of this video. I appreciate each and every one of you guys. It's time to go to work because it is past 8 p.m. I said p.m., man. 8 a.m. It's time to get the workday started. It's time to crush it. Guys, go and have a good rest of your day, and we'll see you tomorrow. Peace.